What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, man, we're going to talk a little Errol Spence Jr., a little Manny Pacquiao, also a little Terrence Bud Crawford fight coming up against Amir Khan in a couple weeks. Not a lot of people talking about it. Hopefully the conversation will pick up a little bit closer to the fight, but it is what it is. But Manny Pacquiao saying that Errol Spence Jr. doesn't punch that hard. Didn't get to cover that a couple days ago. And then Errol Spence was actually on Fox yesterday talking about how it made a lot of sense for him to fight Manny Pacquiao next. And I agree with it on one side. On another side, I don't agree with it, similar to the Mikey Garcia that fight was up there that came before. I kind of have the same viewpoint on that. Before I get into that, though, I want to welcome you back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also check us out in the morning between 10:30 and 10:45 a.m. start time, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. That's 10:30. We start between 10:30 and 10:45 Central Standard Time. Now, also check out the Patreon. All right, so Errol Spence Jr. is, man, he's there. I was on our live stream last night. I had replaced 78 Sports TV on his show, did a guest spot, in the 7 o'clock time slot for 78. And people were saying, don't jump the gun on Errol Spence Jr. as far as him being a superstar and all that in boxing. And I'm like, man, look, or don't count your chickens before they hatch. And my response to that is those chickens have hatched. When you do 400,000 pay-per-views, when you do 47,000 people in a stadium, you're a 25-0 fighter, undefeated 25-0 welterweight. Man, that is just about as good as you can get of a predictor of your future success. And also to have two other people with championship belts that are in the same promotional organization or managerial organization as you, which gives you access to the other two belts, that's a pretty big thing. And then you add to that something that many fighters have used as a means by which to catapult themselves to a higher level, which is an established worldwide name that you have the ability to fight. And that being Manny Pacquiao for Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao was at the fight. Manny Pacquiao said that, why not to the question of fighting Errol Spence Jr. After it, in comment on Errol Spence Jr., he said that he didn't think Errol Spence Jr. hit that hard. Reminded him that Errol Spence reminded him of Luwaba. And so it seems as if Manny Pacquiao is willing to do the fight. That right there, man, is I just don't see how you can have much of a bigger path, to being that, being that major pay-per-view star or that major name in boxing. It seems to me as if Errol Spence is positioned as well as anybody else. I mean, I would say he's almost as positioned as well as Canelo was. Or, man, he might, it's tough on whether he's positioned as well as Canelo was before Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, Canelo lost that fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr., but that was a performance that kicked off Canelo Alvarez to being that pay-per-view star. Now, Canelo, before he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., had not already had a 400,000 pay-per-view deal. Now, that's the type of path that Errol Spence Jr. is on. Errol Spence Jr. also has a very, very attractive fighting style in that he really does, man, he put a beating on Mikey Garcia. I went back and looked at that fight again. Mikey Garcia managed to block a lot of punches, and I do really think that's why Mikey Garcia survived. Mikey Garcia was really able to he stayed in that high guard and really did do a very good job of deflecting punches off of his gloves and off of his elbows. So that, I think, is the reason why Mikey Garcia didn't get put out of there. However, it was a very exciting fight. It was one where, Errol Spence Jr. was pressing the action, and when he's in with guys that are going to be a little less defensively responsible, and by defensively responsible, I mean people that aren't just people that will fight back. There's going to be more openings to land those shots. So that is he's got that exciting style. So all of those things seem to be a good amount of a perfect storm. And he's also got a very big venue to fight in. It's just all around, man. I mean, the future really looks bright for Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao, I think, for that is a perfect fight for him in that regard. And even after the Manny Pacquiao fight, he has Terrence Crawford. And Terrence Crawford, I think, is the ultimate for Errol Spence Jr. fan, would be the ultimate boogeyman type of, it can happen in the future to keep the interest of the fights that he's having going on. It really is, man, a perfect storm for Errol Spence Jr. from what I can see, provided that Errol Spence Jr. stays dedicated to the sport in between fights, and he doesn't allow his weight to blow up too high, and really stays committed to the grind of the fight. I think that might have been a little bit of a problem for him in between the Carlos Ocampo fight and the Mikey Garcia fight, because he wanted to fight Sean Porter. These guys were ducking him for a long time, and I think he might have done a little bit. Might have had a little bit too much celebration and stuff going on in between the two of those fights. Just from the look, just kind of how the puffiness of his face during some of the things that I saw, some of the interviews I saw with him in between those fights. So hopefully, he'll just stay really grinding and grounded, and that won't be a problem. Now that's my, perspective from him, just looking at his career as a fan of Errol Spence Jr. and somebody that really wants to see him do well. Now, is that path necessarily the best way for the hardcore of hardcore boxing fans? I don't necessarily think that that's what me as a hardcore boxing fan wants to see. I want to see, just like I didn't want to see Mikey Garcia. I did not want to see the Mikey Garcia fight. I thought Errol Spence Jr. was going to beat Mikey Garcia, and also I thought that the unification of those belts was the way that I really wanted the thing I really wanted to see. I wanted to see him fight Sean Porter. For some inexplicable reason, but probably not, now that I look at it a little more closely, might not have been Sean Porter. It might have been Al Heyman. It might have been the business heads that say, oh, look what we can do here with Mikey Garcia. The Mexican in Dallas, between a Black American from Dallas and a Mexican from the United States. This could be a scenario where you could really generate a lot of economic success in the fight. And this could really be a fight that, catapults you, because he's I don't want to say Mikey's tailor-made for him, but, Mikey wasn't going to win that fight, man. Not a lot of people really realistically gave him a chance to win that fight. And even though I'll tell you, I thought he was going to box better than he did. Errol definitely showed that he's a very, very good boxer, and he's just a different class of fighter from Mikey Garcia. But anyway, that might have been the reason. They probably weren't in too big a management, and the IBF might not have been in too big a hurry to get a fight between Errol Spence and Sean Porter. But instead of Manny Pacquiao this time, I would love to get loved if he did a unification fight with Sean Porter. Or tell Keith Thurman, just come on, step up, man. Come step up and get up off that WBA belt and do it. Either one of those ways, I'll take. Of course, there is the Terrence Crawford fight. That is obviously a great fight too, that he could do. Any of those fights would, from a boxing purist standpoint, be a better fight than the Manny Pacquiao fight. But I think, what I want to have happen, what I think will happen in this instance is two different things. Because I do believe that they're going to build the PBC, Errol Spence's management team. I believe that they're going to take the route. And that's what Errol Spence Jr. said when he said, hey, the time is right to fight Manny Pacquiao. They also asked him about Floyd Mayweather Jr. And he's like, man, asked if Floyd Mayweather Jr. was scared to fight him. Errol Spence Jr. was like, nah, man, I don't think he's scared to fight. And I would believe that. I don't think that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is scared to fight anybody. But they say that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is retired, and I think that that's a good thing. That's something that Manny Pacquiao needs to do. And if he fights Errol Spence Jr., that's something he's going to wind up doing, because Manny Pacquiao is definitely going to get beat by Errol Spence Jr. And I think it'll be worse. I believe that it'll be worse than Mikey Garcia, because Manny Pacquiao's not just going to hold up and just stay in the high guard and take 15, 16 punches. He's going to at some point in time try to jump out there and fight, but he's still going to wind up getting beat, man, because he's too small, he's too old, he's too slow. He doesn't hit that hard for a welterweight at this point in time in his career, and it's just not going to be good for him. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Ultimately, we want to see the Terrence Crawford fight, obviously, before that gets too far along. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is, and with that, I'm out. Peace.